December 1988, almost 35 years ago, was the last time Dublin footballers came to play Meath in Park Talgin. It's been a long time, much has changed. Conor Lane has travelled all the way from Cork to be the match official, and you can hear the buzz and excitement as the sing-song has started. I know from friends in Meath, they were really looking forward to visiting the former 6 in a row All-Ireland champions Dublin down the road to Navan. The intense rivalry of the days when Colm O'Rourke was actually playing on the Meath team against the likes of Charlie Redmond and Keith Barr. It's a special rivalry. It's Meath against Dublin, and Meath playing from left to right as we look at it. Right now they're in the team building process. So many of these young footballers are coming through with their 5th and 6th appearance. A few experienced heads sprinkled throughout the side against a Dublin side that continue to prosper and grow. They might have lost the last match to Derry in Celtic Park with that late winning score for Derry. They'll be confident enough of getting back on winning tracks here in Park Talgin. Matthew Costello giving it into the centre. A good start here would be vital. Cathal Hickey gaining a little bit of ground. Good hands, lays it off as Ronan Jones. Ronan Jones lays it off quickly again as they recycle it. Jordan Morris. An early score would be a real tonic. Jason Scully. Good feet, then turn to Diarmuid Moriarty. Stopped in his tracks is Cathal Hickey. Given time to clear his possession, give it to a colleague. That didn't work, so it's a free for Dublin. As away comes Niall Scully, who gives the ball away over to the far side. Just taking his eye off it momentarily was the right corner back. That's Dara Newcombe, who's had a good league campaign so far. Meath take it quickly. Matthew Costello. Might Meath continue on their attack. In the centre, it's Ronan Jones from the St. Peter's Club in Dunboyne. Torrick Harnan, one of the changes. So too is Harry O'Higgins. Played in the first 4 league games. So that suspension caused the problem. And again, they're going to go for the opening score. But that ball is on to the right and wide. But as I was saying, John, Meath really have to settle here and try to calm the nerves a little bit.
Absolutely, Marty. I think it's important that Meath turn this into a dogfight and stay in the game this first half. And yeah, they settled quite well, albeit very, very early in the game. Davy
Byrne, long ball in first. Brian Fenton, past the 20, 13, and with the inside of the boot, kicks that over the bar for the opening score of the game.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's way too easy. Like, I mean, that defensive system in Meath has got to stay tight, you know, and not to expose any of the defenders. But that was very, very easy point there for, yeah, a man of great form, Brian Fenton.
Kick out is a good run for us, the Meath captain, Donald Keoghan. Good defending by Lee Gannon. Nice little flick up on the boot as well, into the space. Dublin creating problems early, I would suggest, as that ball is sent in. Nice turn. The diagonal ball worked, and simplicity and motion.
Yeah, Marty, we're just looking at the you know, the full back line of the Meath team. You know, very, very inexperienced. You know, lots of experience with the half back line. Obviously, with Donald Keoghan and Torrick Harlan returned to this in the number 6 position there. But the full back line, a lot of inexperience, and just being a little bit exposed every time Dublin run at them.
Cillian O'Gara scoring that point. Here comes Cormac Costello. Cillian O'Gara is on his immediate outside, but he's trying to get in the in-line, trying to get away from the shackles of Harry O'Higgins, and there is confidence oozing from every pore. Cormac Costello with his first point.
Yeah, that's not the start that Meath wanted. It's awful important. I know they're playing what appears to be against a slight breeze, but just a poor start there now, and Dublin just gaining in confidence, smarting a little bit from that defeat 2 weeks ago to Derry, but very comfortable there for Dublin.
3 scoring chances, 3 points. The stats don't lie, but they're a little bit intimidating, even though it's early days. Free for Meath, Ronan Jones. Looking around to see who's making the run, but there's actually nobody. The ball into space, skids off the surface, could still work out for the Royals. But the end line comes way too fast. going to be a kick out for David O'Hanlon.
Yeah, surprising, Marty. I thought Meath wouldn't go toe-to-toe with the Dublin attack in particular, and that they would get lots of resources back here, particularly in the first half. It's often important that they stay in the game and not let Dublin run away with it in this early half. But just, they've decided to man up, a single defender picking up
a blanket defence.
Yeah, and I anticipated that, but obviously new management, Conor O'Rourke, decided we'll go orthodox, and I suppose that's in the DNA from yesteryear when he played here with me so many times. But I feel they're a little bit vulnerable in their defence. But as I said, that full back line in particular, I think they've only 4 or 5 appearances in the Meath jersey, and you would feel they would benefit from having someone sitting in front of them.
Free is kicked back for Harry Hogan. Established himself over the last number of seasons as first choice keeper from Longwood. Michael Flott. Cathal Hickey from Centralstown. Donald Keoghan, one of the more experienced members. The two wing backs love to attack, as you see on your TV screen at the moment. Diarmuid Moriarty giving it back. Good defending by Dublin. Referee says play on. Dublin win the possession back. Niall Scully goes for the wing, but it's on a beat for Costello, despite trying his very best. Jack Flynn from Rathoath. James McCarthy defending. Cathal Hickey. Good ball inside, well won in the end by Jason Scully. He earned his free. And that's going to be an opportunity for me to get their names on the scoreboard for the very first time.
Yeah, no question about that, Marty. Certainly two defenders coming on top and rather clumsily and giving certainly Meath a chance here. But interesting, the first couple of minutes here, Marty, Dublin are getting lots of bodies behind the ball, and just looking down here from my position, I think that 15 behind the ball there in that last Meath attack, but playing a very, very effective counter-attacking game.
Jason Scully is fit and well to continue. Opportunity for Meath is well taken. Diarmuid Moriarty will take the credit and will please the Royals. Tessie will be happy with the opening minutes of this match. They've settled well. They've given a lot of space by the opposition, as John was pointing out. Long ball batted away. Good work. Comes down for Jack O'Connor, stepping into Dublin territory, laying it back for Cathal Hickey. Hickey and O'Connor combining. Saw the run. Good run as well, but good backtracking at the same time by Dublin's John Small, and they concede a 45.
Yeah, Meath getting lots of possession, Marty. Just find it a little bit difficult to penetrate that Dublin defence, and particularly the numbers that Dublin are getting back, and they're attacking cleanly, and but at the same time Meath are hanging in there. They're only 2 points down the early stage, and maybe a chance here to put back to a single point, and as I say, it's vital that they hang in here, and as we all know, getting a hammering in Páirc Tailteann would be a bitter pill to swallow, and in the early stages I hope that doesn't happen.
This is Harry Hogan. Hits it with the left boot. Hits it wrong side of the post. Two-point deficit for Colm O'Rourke and his team. Still missing so many good footballers this Meath side through injury. Shane McEntee, Shane Walsh, just two to mention, and they are really good players. James McCarthy was hoping to get the benefit of the judgment. He didn't. Advantage to Meath. Adam O'Neill. Padraig Harden won a Sigerson with UCD many years ago. Spent a bit of time in New Zealand. Ball back out, retaining the possession. Over towards Cathal Hickey. Harry O'Higgins.
Go back, go back, go back.
He has Ronan Jones beside him. Decides to use him. And Jones employs Harry Hogan subsequently. Harry is the only one inside that Meath half of the field, so if anything goes wrong, there'll be some speed in terms of the backtracking by everybody. Michael Flood. Padraig Harnan, nephew of Liam Harnan, that played with Colm O'Rourke in his playing days, with so many great players like Jerry McEntee and Mark O'Connell, Bernard Flynn, that great Meath team. Good play by Dublin. Not panicking under any circumstances. Niall Scully. Equally good play by Meath. Counter-attack on. Jason Scully. He has acres of Park Charlton in front of him. He's making an angle, but that is gone across the face of the goal and wide. Fourth wide of the game for Meath.
Yeah, Martin, they're getting plenty of opportunities. Just a little bit wayward in the shooting there, and I think he was a little bit hasty in pulling the trigger there. Jason Scully was a fine footballer, but yeah, 29 players back there in that Dublin defence, so congested, and I'd say Meath are going to find it extremely difficult to penetrate that Dublin defence this afternoon.
David O'Hanlon. Kick out finds Brian Fenton. Good work by Davy Byrne. Gains a little bit of ground. But happy to give it back as Brian Fenton. 2 points between the teams, 3 points to 1. Opportunity coming for Lee Gannon, and that is inside the post and over the bar. This young footballer from Whitehall, Cullum Kills, who came on the scene last year, is growing in confidence. Desi Farrell has selected him at wing back to allow him to go forward even more.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic score. As you say, having the confidence for such a young Dublin footballer, but he went for it and great accuracy there, fine score.
Punched down this occasion by James McCarthy, but it goes to Ronan Jones. Meath have two fine midfielders in Ronan Jones and Jack Flynn, two big men. Jack O'Connor under pressure. Good rob, but O'Connor did well to retrieve the situation. Ronan Jones. Nice kicked pass up towards Jimmer Moriarty. Just losing out in terms of the possession. Davy Byrne takes the sideline ball quickly. And a good old-fashioned long high ball in around the house. Last touch was off a Meath footballer. 45 conceded. We don't actually, John, see Dublin do that too often.
No, I mean, that's a skyscraper from the right wing, and look at it, keeps the full back honest. And we were just chatting a few Meath supporters before the game, and we love the old skyscraper in the top of the box, and we see what the full-back, Meath full-back line is there. But he dealt with it reasonably well. And but that's the danger that Dublin are so effective with their counter-attacking game, and they just come with so many runners coming from half-back line and what have you. But that time they went orthodox, and let's see if they can get a score out of the 45.
They have a very strong wind in their favour in the first half, Dublin. And it's good to see the long, high dropping ball.
We love it, Marty, you so older folks.
Speak for yourself, John Martin. Cormac Costello puts that over the bar. That's his second point of the game.
Lovely strike, Marty. Yeah, I have to say, a beautiful strike there. He just 2 steps back, and that guy is a bit of class. We all know how effective he is, and playing really well, but lovely strike there.
Harry Hogan goes short this time. Doing well on his kickouts. Great pressure by Dublin. Adam O'Neill finds his pat forward blocked. He had sufficient time to get rid of it. Good pressure by Dublin. And that's going to be a free just outside the 45-metre line.
Well, Conor O'Rourke was asking for a manly performance, and I have to say, from both teams out there, I felt he was a little bit hard done by there, perhaps, and I know he was surrounded, but lots of referees would have given him either free in that situation. But at the same time, fair play to me, they're standing up to the challenge this afternoon.
Cormac Costello this time, under the watchful eye of his manager Jesse Farrell. He's going to take this with one foot on the 45-metre line, as you can see. Going to let this fly. But there was never any danger of that going between the posts. It's the first wide of the game for Dublin, which is significant in itself.
We saw just an indication, Marty, you mentioned it already, how strong that breeze is. I mean, that certainly has strengthened since the game started in favour of Dublin.
Bit of a hospital pass from Harry Hogan, but fair play to Ronan Jones. He won it on his big toe, literally, which is always difficult to gather and collect, and he was under severe pressure. Torrick Harnan, Adam O'Neill, goalkeeper Harry Hogan coming forward with confidence, even against the breeze, and it's a good kick as well. Running onto it is Diarmuid Moriarty, laying it off quickly. Matthew Costello from Dunshaughlin. Good work here by Jack O'Connor. O'Connor under pressure takes the shot, sends it wide. I would put that down as inexperience. I know that there's a lot of passing involved, John, but I think they could have brought it forward out to the midfield area. Yeah,
Jack was a little bit hasty there. I think he's a couple of years playing for Meath there. He should possibly have recycled that, but it just gives an indication how strong that breeze is. And I suspect it was difficult from the angle he was shooting from there to get over the bar.
Here's Cormac Costello. That's simplicity in motion. Good score. And the long ball down again.
That's why we suggested, Marty. If you leave your full back line exposed, and Meath are, as I say, they are going toe to toe, and their man markers are in position, but they've no real defensive cover. And when like for Cormac Costello, or indeed anybody in that full forward line for Dublin get a half a chance, they're very, very accurate.
Cormac Costello has now got 3 points to his credit. Killian O'Gara gets a touch out far as Niall Scully. Conor Callahan always looking at the posts. Not one look, but 2 looks. And that's all it needs. That's forwards on fire. I know it's an old phrase, but these are Dublin forwards that know where the goalposts are, no matter what pitch they're playing on. Brilliant.
The skill execution there again, Marty, just top class. We can't argue about the quality of those players. That Dublin full forward line, they're just immense, and I'd say they're smarting from that defeat against Derry. So, any chance they get, they're putting it away.
6-point advantage now for the visitors, but they are playing with a very strong wind. We're just a little bit surprised that Meath, considering the conditions, didn't adopt a blanket defence and try and retain everything under wraps until half-time, and then try and take advantage of the conditions themselves. Here comes Jason Scully, Oldcastle man. Ronan Jones. The shooting is accurate. Jack Flynn, in his 5th appearance for his county, one of the new kids on the block. He really went for it here against the wind. He curled it in beautifully.
Yeah, inspirational score, Marty. As I say, you're getting the crowd going here in front of us for me, but a super score.
2nd point of the match for Meath. Jack O'Connor, Torrick Harnan. Jack O'Connor again looking for a little bit of support outside. This is a better option. Matthew Costello. Flicking one in. That's well won. The crowd urging Diarmuid Moriarty, saying, go for it, go for it. Here comes An effort off the post and into the net. And listen to the roar in Park Chalchin. A difficult angled shot that came back off the post, which seemed to deceive the goalkeeper, who was minding his nearest post here. Back off the far over post and into the back of the net. Sensational. Brilliant.
Exactly what the game and exactly what Meath needed. It was, I think it was their full forward that eventually Matthew Costello. But I mean, that shot was unstoppable, rather fortuitous. I don't know, was he going for a goal? But let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he chipped the goalkeeper. Wonderful goal.
Game on in Park Chalchin. Here comes the Dublin response. And it hops over the bar from out the field without anybody touching it.
Marty,
good score.
That brings back bad memories for me, 1996. You know, Colm Coyle and that famous bomb from the halfway line that hopped over the bar. Something similar happened there, albeit on this occasion it was the Dublin man.
They did that especially for you, John, not the fact that we're in Navan and we're in the county of Meath.
I did need reminding today.
Harry Hogan, Adam O'Neill, the 11,000 sellout crowd, really. Majority, there's a huge crowd from Dublin, but certainly the Meath supporters are just on their feet here, waving and shouting every time a Meath footballer gets the ball, encouraging the home side even more. 8 points to 1-2. Harry Hogan again, trying to draw Dublin near him and laying it back. Gives me palpitations when I see a goalkeeper out this far, John, and nobody near the goalpost.
Modern game, Marty, they're all at it.
Ronan Jones, 50-50 ball, good defending by Dublin. Cillian O'Gara is back there, brother of Owen O'Gara, who served his county and indeed his club very well. Lee Gannon, Dublin going for the long ball, it's good to see. The long ball works, here's the right man, and it's blasted wide. Right man normally, but on this occasion, Conor Callaghan blasted it.
I mean, look at that, was a great goal chance, and we would have expected to see the net bulge there. I mean, won it brilliantly well inside the Michael Flood, and that's a little bit of inexperience, and that's what you would hope that the likes of Pádraig Harlan would sit a little bit closer to him and give him the comfort of having a man and a body in front of him.
Brilliant catch, Matthew Costello. Going for the diagonal ball, but Lee Gannon to Brian Fenton. Averts to danger. Good hands, Cormac Costello. Has the support of Kieran Kilkenny, who we haven't really mentioned so far, but when he does get the ball, this is what he does. Castle Knockman gets his name on the score sheet for the very first time.
Well, he's perpetual motion, that guy. Like, I mean, and I've often seen him in the past, you know, having quite enough, and he's ineffective maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, and then he'd have 3 points over the bar in his shot. He's real quality and never stops presenting himself, hunting for a ball, looking for option, and his work rate is awesome. Yeah, he's something else. He's a special player.
Kick out from Harry Hogan. Quite accurate in his kick outs, I must say, short or long. There was only one that gave us all a bit of a trepidation, but generally speaking they've been solid.
Yeah, Marty, I have to say Meath are getting great success. I say the success rate of the kick-outs here in that first half is 85-90%. I don't think they've lost too many, and then fair to the Meath boys, they're shown for their goalkeeper there, Harry Hogan. They're not even isolated, and they're getting some joy on that.
Jack O'Connor going from second to third and fourth gear very quickly. Deliver the ball up towards Jim and Moriarty, but Dublin are there in numbers. Referee says play on, no foul. Kieran Kilkenny comes away with it. Over for his Lee Gannon. Unmarked Cormac Costello. Not advisable. Not when he's already scored 4 times. Costello setting up Conor Callaghan. There's queuing up, and the ball goes off the fingertips of Cillian O'Gara, and there was a second goal opportunity available. Brilliant move by Dublin, but just the pass to Cillian O'Gara, just a little bit too high.
Yeah, but I mean, Marty, do you know who set up that attack? It was Kieran Kilkenny back in his own half-back line, turned the ball over and moved it very quickly. But of course, that should have ended up in the back of the net. And thankfully, from the game's perspective and from Meath's point of view, that they haven't scored those 2 goals. But yeah, formidable when they come forward, and that attacking that we talked about is so effective.
Tip down for James McCarthy. Marking by Meath down the central channels. Leaves a lot to be desired. They got a good block down here. Good work by Donald Keoghan, to his credit. But when you're looking from our perspective up here, there are pathways in left, right, and indeed down the middle that Meath could easily be punished. Adam O'Neill, only playing his 5th game for his county at senior level. The Wolf Tones Club. Ronan Jones. Back again to Adam O'Neill. Harry O'Higgins from Drumbarra Emmets. Needs a little bit of support now. Poig Harnan will bring his keeper into the game. And here's Harry. Fingertips. Harry gave it, but Harry also rescued it. Poig Harnan, the only Meath man inside their 45-metre line. Harry is confident, I have to say. But when you see 3 Dublin lads coming towards you, I certainly would change my mind as well.
Yeah, but this is what they want to do. Just hold on to the ball and just suck out, the Dublin attack onto them. Just recycle it. They're playing against the wind, and that's fine if they just decide to hold on to the ball. But unfortunately, the final pass is what's, really hurting the Meath boys.
Jason Scully gets the 1-2, and Diarmuid Moriarty, and he's made ground. Still Scully. Difficult enough angle, and it curls to the left and wide. And again, this will come with experience. That was Jordan Morris. But considering the strength of the breeze, that was a bit optimistic from there, John.
It was. And that's your shot selection has let them down. All he had to do was recycle, hold on to it, recycle, and count the clock down. They have the big breeze in the second half.
Brian Fenton gets by the initial challenge. Goes for his 2nd point. Brilliant score. The Raheny man is a class act. Whether it be league or championship, Brian Fenton has the magic. Great score. That's superb. Arguably one of the best of his generation of midfield, and he just glided by the cover there, the Meath cover, and kicked an awesome score off his left peg. That's sheer class. I have to give compliments in fairness to Jack Flynn and Ronan Jones have been playing quite effectively there from midfield and working extremely hard, but that Clinton is just something else. Sean Bugler, as you saw there, has been introduced. Donald Keoghan wins the ball back. Niall Scully, by the way, is the player that made way for Sean Bugler. Ronan Jones, powerful force in the middle of the field, as you can see here. Reminds me of Liam Hayes or Jerry McEntee in their great heyday. That big, strong, elegant, physical presence. Cormac Costello. Owen Merchant to Cormac Costello again. Here comes the shot. And that ball is wide of the target. And that's Dublin Sport wide of the game.
Yeah, an opportunity. You expect by championship time that they'll be clipping those over, but uncontested there, no defender on them. And perhaps he should have maybe slipped that inside the forward line, but he made them poor wide.
Cathal Hickey unmarked momentarily. Jack O'Connor has the support of Diarmuid Moriarty, who is subsequently fouled by Darren Newcombe from Lucan Sarsfields, and that's going to be a free in for Meath.
Yeah, Darrell learned you just don't leave your arm in. He left the hand in there, and I think you know, the Meath man being clever just put him down on top of him, and yeah, certainly the referee had no option but to give a free there. But this is a difficult one. This is one he should go short on, because with that swirling breeze there, I think it'd be an exceptional score were he to kick it over the bar from here.
Judging by his body language, I don't think he hears you, John. I think he's going to go for it. Let's see. He's facing a very strong breeze. Dunshaughlins, Matthew Costello sends it wide.
Should have gone short, Marty.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
5 points between the teams, which probably reflects Dublin's superiority, particularly when they do the simple things so well, using the long ball quickly down to the forwards that have the benefit of the wind and the ball travelling at speed. Like now, Owen Merchant. Cormac Costello calls for the mark, lays it off quickly with the overlap. Probably took it a little bit too quickly. Conor Callaghan giving it back. This one's going to drop short. Easily dealt with by Harry Hogan to Cathal Hickey. Free to Meath. I think Harry Hogan has touched the ball more times than some of the outfield players today.
I think you're right, Marty. Yeah, he's certainly he's hungry for it anyway. He's getting up and down the field. Just wants to be careful in that final pass of his.
He's facing the strong wind and the sunshine, but whoops. Cathal Hickey did well. The Dublin lads have caught on that Harry likes to come out, but thou shalt not pass the 45, I think is the 11th commandment. They allow him that freedom, and then they say, okay, we've had enough of this. And that's Jack Flynn is tackled by Kieran Kilkenny. Torrick Harnan over towards Shane Crosby down that left wing. Donald Keoghan. Torrick Harnan calling for was Jason Scully. Matthew Costello. 50-50 ball, anywhere will do. Hoofed back down for us, Adam O'Neill.
You don't see that too often, Marty, from a Dublin team.
Back again for us, Torrick Harnan. To Harry. Cathal Hickey. Second Harry on the team is Harry O'Higgins. Torrick Harnan. Under pressure. Good work by Sean Bugler. Then comes in Lee Gannon. Gives a free. I thought that was good pressure by Dublin, I'll be honest, John.
Yeah, in fairness to Harnan, he's a strong boy, and we know that. It's in the DNA. But yeah, he's getting on his side of the ball and working extremely hard. And yeah, I think it could have been forced into a turnover there.
Ronan Jones. This is an opportunity of a second goal. Still there. The referee is watching. Ball comes loose. Rebounds. James McCarthy comes away with it. He loses the possession. Referee blows the whistle, and it's a free out to the Ballymun Kickham's club man. And Dublin don't hang about. Owen Merchant stepping away. Remember his great goal a couple of years ago. Lays it off. There's an opportunity of a goal for Dublin. Killian O'Gara. Goal opportunity at one end. Not taken. Goal down at the other end. Beautiful opportunity. Great movement. And it finished superbly by Killian O'Gara.
Marty, it was just the pace and the power running, and that's the athleticism of a Dublin team we're so accustomed to. They had options left and right. If you know, from my vantage point here, they were just flooding forward with numbers and finished brilliantly well. Super goal for Dublin.
That's the difference when you have that ability up front to take opportunities. But again, it was the speed of the delivery, the speed of the counter-attack. After James McCarthy was fouled, comes at a crucial time, with just about a minute to go to the 35th minute of the first half. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of time added on. Kieran Kilkenny going long, very long. Cillian O'Gara is there again, comes back off the post, inside the post and over the bar.
Yeah, I mean, no cover really. The two Meath boys, the full back line, just a little bit exposed there. Yeah, that man, Cillian O'Gara, like, I mean, the 1-1 in the space of a minute. Yeah, he's certainly putting his hand up for permanent selection here, but very well finished and well won. Like, I mean, again, long ball and Meath defensive cover exposed.
O'Gara has now scored a goal and 2 points. And remember the high pass that went into him that he just couldn't reach? Could have had a second goal. Here's the other goal scorer, Matthew Costello. Diarmuid Moriarty nowhere near the goalposts, I'm afraid. Disappointment for Colm O'Rourke along the sideline. Disappointment as well for Diarmuid Moriarty. This was a goal opportunity.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Marty, the numbers that are back in that situation there. Lots of Dublin defensive cover, and that's the difference. I mean, Dublin are so astute, and they've got the game intelligence to get numbers when they see a potential threat.
Cormac Costello picked up an injury. Just seems to be around his eye there, but I don't think that'll bother him, knowing his resilience and determination to play for his county is always at a premium level.
The reality is, Marty, like, I mean, Dublin have missed 2 great goal chances that could be out of sight at half-time here. You know, Meath just hanging on ever so slightly and wishing, I'd say, for half-time.
We're gone into injury time. 2 minutes of added time added on. Conor Callaghan back out far as Lee Gannon. Brian Fenton. Quick hands, laying it off. Another opportunity. Sean Bugler stopped, pulled on, and as a result of the pull, it is a free for Meath.
Yeah, just Marty, they're just knifing through the heart of that defence, and we expected that, the likes of Pádraig Harlan coming in there to anchor at 6, big strong unit, but they're just penetrating down the middle so easily, and that man again, like, I mean, he's great turn of pace, Cillian O'Gara, and of course Brian Fenton later on the plate for him, but yeah, better cover that on that occasion, but could have certainly been another Dublin goal.
Referee blows the half-time whistle. Cillian O'Gara has very much the talking point in this particular match with a goal and 2 points. Indeed, he could have scored a second goal if the pass wasn't so high. He's doing well. Older brother Owen will be well pleased. Meath did not adopt a blanket defence policy. They went man-to-man, and they find themselves trailing by 111 to 1.
With that wind around the edge of the day.
You mentioned at the top of the show, the worst, I think, bar Limerick, they're the worst across the first 2 divisions in terms of how much they're conceding.
Right, let's see, guys, if there's any shake-up to either formation. We'll rejoin John Maughan and Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Damien. Welcome back here to Park Charlton. The two teams just a little bit slow in coming back out of their dressing rooms, but they're here, they're ready. The referee is just checking all the officials are ready along the sideline around the umpires, and I think there's one change, but we'll give you that in a moment. Let's concentrate on what's happening. Ball is thrown in, second half is underway. Now remember, the Meath have the strong wind in the second half. Will they go very, very long? Will they try and work it up? And what exactly will Dublin do? Here's Sean Bugler, a 9-point advantage. Better team when it comes to taking chances all the way through. Owen Merchant laying it off to centre half back John Small, and that's gone to the left and wide. I presume, John, if you were John Maughan is with me, as you know, but second half What do you think Colm O'Rourke was saying? Would he be going long?
Well, I think, what worked exceptionally well for Dublin that first half was going long. There was no defensive cover there, and they exploited that and got great joy out of it. But you would expect Colm O'Rourke to do that. I don't think he has got a defensive system deployed in any game to date, so I expect a more similar to orthodox style, and just hope for the best.
Conor Callaghan comes back for his Lee Gannon. Dublin happy to retain the possession. Owen Merchant coming forward. He was very much the architect behind Cillian O'Gara's goal. Very much part of the move. Brian Fenton has scored twice in the first half, as he usually does. Darren Newcombe spraying the ball over towards James McCarthy. Little 1-2 between himself and Lee Gannon. Coming in to challenge is Tadhg Harnan. Sean Bugler gets involved. James McCarthy, Dublin not rushing their shots. They're happy to build slowly, be patient, and then take a shot. And the storyboard was fine from my description, except the finish.
Yeah, absolutely, and that man rarely misses. But I'm just looking at the flags here, Marty, and they are kicking into an exceptionally strong breeze. And that'll be a little bit challenging for the Dublin team. But the guile and the experience and the general know-how that this Dublin attack have, you would expect, they're in a very, very comfortable position. And despite the breeze, I just get the impression that, looking at here, that Meath might just struggle in this second half, because they haven't got the same conditioning, they haven't got the pace and the power running that this Dublin team have, and they have it coming from every line. But Colm O'Rourke decided to I think, go orthodox, and he has made a couple of changes here in the second half, and let's hope for the best, Marty.
3 changes, in fact, that we're just looking at here, with Thomas O'Reilly coming on for Jordan Morris. 3 attackers changed as Dublin go on the attack again, this time won by Tadhg Harnan, and Meath come away with it. Cillian O'Sullivan, Dahi McGowan are on now for Meath in the second half, as is Thomas O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's just basic skill execution there, just a terrible pass. You didn't see Dublin do that in the first half. A lot of their long balls were direct and right on the money, giving lots of opportunities to their inside line. Cormac Costello in particular, and that man Cillian O'Gara, who had a superb first half for Dublin.
Dublin, Cormac Costello, Brian Fenton coming across over towards Darren Newcombe. Needs a little bit of support. Cillian O'Gara is there, so too is Davy Byrne. And Merchant is available in the centre, if required, and he was, to James McCarthy. Lovely combination, high challenge on McCarthy. Referee giving the free out. I don't know about that one, John. I nearly have given a free in.
That was a free in. I don't know what Cormac Lane didn't see there, but quite clearly, to me that's a free all day long. I don't know what's inside the program or not, but you can't do that to a guy on the ground in possession either. But a little bit harsh there in Dublin.
Meath worked themselves out from a deep defensive position down towards Matthew Costello, keeping it down the wing. Winning the free is Aaron Lynch. But the effort at the end is a huge disappointment.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind young Aaron Lynch there. Looks very quick and pacey, and he won that ball exceptionally well on the sideline and moved it on quickly, but unfortunately the finish from Ronan Jones didn't match the quality, or was it Jack Flynn, the quality of the pass into him. Chance missed for Meath.
Dublin back with the possession and getting in along the end line, and that's going to be flicked to the wrong side of the post. I thought it was going to go over the bar.
Yeah, that man Conor O'Gara, he rarely misses chances as simple as that one. But they are penetrating, and you just feel it's a question of time until they start getting those over the bar and the back of the net. But every time they run at that Meath defence, they're creating chances.
Harry Hogan goes for distance. There's a bit of an infringement in the middle of the field, and that means advantage Meath with this free. Dublin have had numerous opportunities in the opening 6 minutes of the second half to add to their 9-point advantage, but failing to do so. Cillian O'Sullivan takes the free, gives it back to Padraig Harnan. Ronan Jones, Harry O'Higgins, Aaron Lynch. Not afraid to shoot, not afraid to have a go. Very good score.
Straight away you can see there's a bit of energy about that guy, Aaron Lynch. He's very, very energetic, pacey, elusive, and had the confidence here to kick a fantastic score. Very impressive.
Mick Fitzsimons in for his own Merchant. Over towards John Small. Cormac Costello. John Small provides the support, but Cormac Costello cuts into the middle. Sean Bugler is available. Great work by Brian Fenton again. Won himself a free.
He earned it, Marty, but yeah, there's no question he was pulled and dragged there, and but I can tell you, Meath are getting a better defensive cover and position for the second half. They obviously decided not to in the first half. They changed that up, and then they're proving it quite difficult for Dublin to break down.
Free is taken. That's better by Meath. They're putting the hard work in and the grafting. It's a characteristic that Colm O'Rourke will encourage. Owen Merchant missed it, so too did Michael Fitzsimons, but Merchant is there to gather and collect. James McCarthy over towards Cillian O'Gara. Kieran Kilkenny. Thought initially, I think, of giving the ball back to O'Gara. Michael Fitzsimons. Proud Coolerman. Given a little bit of space, past the 20, heading towards the 13. Ball into the middle. It's a good one from John Small to Kieran Kilkenny. James McCarthy. Flicking it back. Nice little turn by Lee Gannon. And Lee Gannon scores his second point of the game. Scored twice against Derry, twice against me.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Marty, in the first half. That guy is quality. A newbie onto this Dublin defence, and very, very impressive. And a lovely strike of the ball there. Just nonchalantly sat back and just pulled the trigger and straight as the die over the black spot. An impressive score.
Colm O'Rourke adopting a more defensive role in the second half, obviously hoping to defend well and then counter-attack, I would imagine, as quickly as he can with a long ball.
Yeah, that's what we expect in the first half, though. Like, I mean, he left us a full back line very, very much isolated, and I understand this is their sixth game under new management, and it takes a bit of time to develop a defensive system, but yeah, going orthodox toe-to-toe with Dublin wouldn't be advisable any day of the week, and I just feel a little bit sorry for that young full back line. They were just a little bit exposed, and thankfully, I suppose, from a Meath perspective, they only went in, was it 9 down? There could have been at least another 2 goals. Like, I mean, Dublin missed 2 easy goal chances in that first half, but just makes it a little bit more competitive, and yeah, I think it's important now from a Meath perspective that they don't take a hammering here in Park College, and it's just it's something they just might find too bitter of a pill to swallow, shall we say. Kick
out from Harry Hogan was straight down the barrel there of tight marking Dublin defence, and lucky enough for me to retain the possession. Good pressure, squeezing it back for his Ronan Jones. Well taken on this occasion by Diarmuid Moriarty. Back again for his Matthew Costello. Recycles it for his Ronan Jones. 50-50 ball. Not a great pass, but Meath retained the possession. Harry O'Higgins. Jimmer Moriarty. Referee felt he was being fouled. Not too sure were there other frees. The level of consistency there just...
Well, we can certainly say, Marty, that definitely was a foul. I think he was quite clearly pushed to the ground. A great chance for me just to narrow that gap. Well, I don't know, have they narrowed it by one in the second half, but yeah, certainly an opportunity. Wind assisted here, and you'd expect that this man, Matthew Costello, he's a good striker of the ball, and you'd expect he should nail this.
45 metres out, well, just a little bit inside it. He has the wind to his back, so you expect this to go for height. Curl it in. Hits it well, and hits it over the bar. First step on the journey back into the game.
He's impressed me, Matthew Costello. He's a good focal point in the full forward line. He's got on a lot of possession and a good free taker for sure.
Davy Byrne put over the line by Aaron Lynch, but Davy Byrne is off camera looking for some sort of a reaction from the linesman, but it ain't happening. Meanwhile, Dublin have the possession with Owen Merchant. Sudden burst of speed. David Moriarty chases, to his credit. Cillian O'Gara. Challenged initially by Cillian O'Sullivan. Ball given away to Ronan Jones. Matthew Costello. Costello available again. Sean Bugler puts in the hard graft. Great block down, Sean Bugler. Rebound back to Ronan Jones. Throwing himself bravely on the ball. And the crowd are loving the exchanges. Listen to the crowd in Park Chalcha. It's a league game in St. Patrick's weekend, not championship.
Yeah, that's what you'd associate with a Meath team, particularly in Park Chalcha. But yeah, that's an inspirational work ethic. He continues to fight and contest for the ball, and yeah, superb stuff.
Kieran Kilkenny fouled, dropping this in towards Conor Callaghan. Cormac Costello in support, flicks one through towards Tom Laheath. That ball is blocked, or that pathway is blocked. Kieran Kilkenny looking around to see who's available. James McCarthy steps up to the challenge, lays it back, spraying the ball across. Opportunity for John Small. Stopped or tried to stop him as Aaron Lynch. Cillian O'Gara, and that is just inside the post and over the bar. He really is producing a winning performance both for himself and indeed for Dublin. 1 goal and 3 points now.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing superbly well this afternoon, and yeah, every opportunity, his shot selection is spot on. He's an intelligent footballer. He's very athletic and very, very quick, and he's the one Dublin footballer in particular has really caught the eye this afternoon.
Meath winning the free and going long. Well won by Jimmer Moriarty, and a very good score as well. It's the second point of the game. It's still a long way back, but they're not giving up.
And that's what you expect. That's what will delight Conor O'Rourke, Marty. The fact that they're not giving up, they're brave. They're here at home in front of a great crowd. There's great history in this particular venue when it comes to Dublin Meath games of yore. And certainly this present crop are not lying down, as you say, and they're working extremely hard. I'm very impressed with the work ethic of their two boys, Ronan Jones in particular, middle of the field, and Jack Flynn. They're working their socks off. But right around the park, everyone is giving it their all.
David O'Hanlon going for distance down towards James McCarthy, flicked away. Bugler gets a little touch. Long ball into the space. Coming across is Cathal Hickey. Cormac Costello coming in to challenge. Hickey concentrating on the deliverance to a colleague. Michael Flood stopped through the sheer pressure of numbers of Dublin. Lee Gannon to the man of the moment, Killian O'Gara. Referee blows his whistle. Free for Dublin.
Yeah, I think it's the first card of the game, Marty, and I've seen the past referees get black for that, but I suspect a yellow. Yeah.
Yellow for Adam O'Neill.
Yes, I think the only way of stopping that man, Killian O'Gara, this afternoon, he's just electric and he's quick, and yeah, certainly any defender out there marking him this afternoon have their hands full.
Clear jersey pulled by Adam O'Neill. Referee indicating what the foul was, but you can see it on your screens. Here's O'Gara once more. Donald Keoghan staying with him. Kieran Kilkenny. Brian Fenton showing a little bit too much to Jack Flynn on that occasion, but still retained the possession. James McCarthy, Kieran Kilkenny, Sean Bugler, Cormac Costello just inside the Meath 45. Doing the incisive run was Conor Callaghan, but good defending by Meath. Half blocked by Cormac Costello. Nothing given away. Conor Callaghan sends that over the bar. And that really should have been a Meath clearance down the wing. Great block by Costello, feeding in Conor Callaghan, and instead of a deliverance to the Meath forwards, it's a score for Dublin.
You're right, Marty, and so many scores this afternoon have come from mistakes and just basic skill execution not being near as good or as effective, and we see just another example of it there. You know, just turn the ball back to and giving possession back to Dublin, and that's just been an aspect of the game, and certainly something that the Meath management will have to go work on. Just their basic skill execution of the fundamentals, kicking and striking, and you rarely see a kick being blocked down in the modern inter-county game, and we've seen just too many examples of it here on the Meath side.
Davy Byrne. Back far is Darren Newcomb.
Good shot, Tom. Good shot, yeah.
Owen Merchant sending it across to Michael Fitzsimons. James McCarthy working along the sideline to Fitzsimons. Back again for his own Merchant. Davy Byrne. John Small. Lee Gannon challenged by Killian O'Sullivan. Then Ronan Jones. That's a bookable offence. Dublin didn't like the challenge on Lee Gannon.
No.
The referee is going to come in and show at least a yellow card.
Yeah, that's a little bit of frustration just creeping into some of the Meath boys. They're just, whoa, yeah, there's no attempt to go for the ball there whatsoever. Yeah, Ronan, steady up there, a yellow for sure, but yes, it's worse than clumsy, Marty. Just as I say, an element of frustration. I wouldn't mind. He's working extremely hard for his team. You know, he's fighting, contesting for everything on the floor, in the air. And he's putting in a serious shift, and obviously he can see, like, I mean, it's very frustrating, I suppose, chasing Dublin players right around the park. I can understand why he'd be frustrated, but just got to go tail that.
Donald Lenihan is coming on for Meath. One of the more experienced players. The player that's going off is Jason Scully. Brian Fenton. He always has so much time. I said it, I think, in the first half. I'll say it again. He's a class act.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't really defend him because he just glides around the place. No more than Kieran Kilkenny. I mean, those two experienced players, they just play with such guile and know-how, and just he's gliding and waiting for the opportunities. His shot selection is invariably on the money. He doesn't turn the ball over. He creates so many opportunities for his teammates, and his timing off the shoulder support is superb. Yeah, that guy has everything.
And mentioning Brian, the other Brian from Raheny is now on the field, taking the place of Tom Laheath from St. Jude's Club. Donald Keoghan has nowhere to go. Doesn't release the ball. It's a free for Dublin. This is all part of the inter-county scene, is to be able to put the pressure on the opposition when they do have the ball, and Dublin are really good at it. Conor Callaghan, little shimmy from right to left, creates the space to allow him to kick it with his left boot over the bar for his 3rd point of the game.
Yeah, Marty, I'm just been informed here that I think Dublin have scored everything with the exception of the 45s all from play. That's an incredible statistic. And you just can see some of the Meath players just begin to wane. Their athleticism with me and conditioning with me near as good as the Dublin players, and they just might struggle in this final quarter. As they are around the park here.
Dahi McGowan send the ball down, but Davy Byrne had been fouled by Aaron Lynch. That's going to be a free. You know, John, we were talking all through the first half about the effect of the strong wind, but since the start of the second half, it's been all Dublin. It's not a major factor at all now.
Yeah, you expect that from Dublin, and I just mentioned it again, their conditioning, years of conditioning, and the expertise. And I know they haven't been as fluent in the opening rounds of the National League. They've been, they conceded scores against Clare. They were quite lucky, I think, against Clare, Cork. But I have to say, and taking a defeat to Derry certainly would have hurt. But this afternoon, they've been superb, just dancing around me.
Here comes Conor Callaghan, and he puts that over the bar for his 4th point of the match. Young Footballer of the Year back in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, look at the subs they're bringing in. Are going to even hurt that Meath defence a little bit more. But Conor Callaghan, and I've mentioned, the class in their forward line with Killian O'Gara himself. But look, they just have it. They've booked the talent and write them off at your peril.
Long ball, the first really that we've seen from Meath, but Brian Howard is there. Gives and gets the return to the other Brian Fenton. Shoves off the challenge of Jack Flynn. Kieran Kilkenny down that wing towards Killian O'Gara. Thought about shooting. Distributes it back for Sean Bugler. Brian Howard. Gathered by John Small. Nobody coming through the middle. Killian O'Gara, Lee Gannon, James McCarthy. Controlling this second half. Cormac Costello, score of 4 points in the first half. John Small, happy to retain the possession and frustrate the home side. Owen Matcha. Well won by Kieran Kilkenny. Referee gives him the free. I think Kieran had decided it was a free even before he got it.
Well, I think there's no doubt about it. The Meath full forward, Matthew Costello back there defending. It's all hands to the pump here now from a Meath perspective. They're pulling back their full forward and to work in the defensive system that they have set up in the second half. And
Cormac Costello kicks this accurately and with conviction to get his 5th point of the game. Dublin home and hosed even at this stage, 118 to 1-5. Picked up by Donald Keoghan. Being pursued by Brian Fenton. Even when he doesn't have the ball, Fenton is doing another essential ingredient, hard graft or backtracking. Picked up by Carl Hickey on the day and sends that over the bar. I think it should be said, John, that there's a couple of really good footballers, including Carl Hickey and Pádraig Harlan, Ronan Jones, Matthew Costello,
Yeah.
they have stepped up, as well as Donald Keoghan. They have stepped up to the mark.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And are there signs of progression or improvement under Colin O'Rourke? Some might argue there aren't. It's going to take a bit of time, I suppose. Come into a team as Colin did a couple of months ago. I mean, even from the strength and conditioning perspective, they have a lot of work to do by comparison and contrast with teams. I'm even benchmarking them against Mayo. I see young fellas coming onto the squad this year down in Castlebar, playing brilliantly well, but their conditioning is just top notch, and I think maybe that's an aspect of the game here that because the talent is there, they've obviously got to tidy up their skill execution. We saw a lot of turnovers, a lot of silly balls being kicked out over the sideline, little things like that, but look, he's given himself 2 years to improve things, but they have work to do for sure. But you'd expect here at home in Park Tolchin in front of a big crowd that they would be honest and brave, and their work ethic would be good. But Marty, there's lots of aspects of their game they've got to improve upon.
Dublin have also made a change. That's Colin Pascal from Ballybowden St Enda's, and the player that's going off is Killian O'Gara with a goal and 3 points. I think he's impressed, or he should have impressed Desi Farrell and his management team, particularly in that first half. Kieran Kilkenny, Matthew Costello got a toe to it. John Small, Kieran Kilkenny into the centre towards Lee Gannon. I was impressed with Lee last year. I'm impressed with Lee again this year. I think he's a really good player. And as for Kieran Kilkenny, well, 7 All-Irelands, 9 Leinsters, says it all. Davy Byrne, Owen Merchant. Backfire is Darren Newcomb, who's played in every league game and continues to impress. The Lucan Sarsfield's star, Davy Byrne. Making himself available again was Darren Newcomb, knowing that Davy Byrne needed a little bit of help. James McCarthy, what a great footballer he is as well. Brian Fenton, over towards John Small, acres of space in front of him, heading towards the corner because he has Brian Howard available. Howard and Small coming in along the wing. Back out for Sean Bugler. Owen Merchant making ground. I think he was undecided, didn't know what exactly to pass or kick it, but he has it again. This time makes the quick decision to give it far as Kieran Kilkenny. And this Meath team will learn from playing against quality sides like Dublin. This is a learning curve when you're trying to put a new team together, which Colin O'Rourke is doing. It will take time, as John Mahan was saying. In the centre, it's Conor Callaghan. Michael Flood trying to stop his incisive run. Owen Merchant. Sean Bugler. Aaron Lynch comes in to challenge. The counter-attack was on momentarily, but not now. Could still be on. Dermot Moriarty, held by Kieran Kilkenny. Free for Meath on their own 45-metre line. Unlike Dublin, Meath slow it up. Where when Dublin got the free in that exact same position, it was kicked long and fast.
Yeah, a lot of the Meath boys are just out on their feet. They just haven't got in their legs and go down the home stretch, Marty, and find it hard to get up and support. Their full forward line or half forward line. They're just, I suppose a lot of them at this stage are just hoping for that final whistle.
Torek Harnan spreading it wide over towards Owen Harkin. Ronan Jones has given his all, as has Harry O'Higgins. Cathal Hickey, score of a point in the second half. Shot on the way is a really good one. That's a great score by Donald Lenihan.
Yeah, that wing back, Cathal Hickey's a nice football from Meath. It was him that did off that final pass. He's slight in stature, but he's good, and he penetrates, and a few more of him on the Meath boys will certainly make a difference for sure.
5 minutes left. David Moriarty feeding Cillian O'Sullivan. There's an opportunity here. Can Aaron Lynch got it blocked down by the goalkeeper and out for 45. Just from a moment, there was an opportunity of a goal for Meath, and it looks like Owen Merchant gets the clap on the back from his goalkeeper David O'Hanlon. Great defending by Dublin.
Yes, I mean, it was. I think it was actually was it a save from?
It was initially saved by David O'Hanlon, and then Owen Merchant got the finish to it.
Yeah, I mean, Owen Merchant, he's a gazelle. He's that guy. He's just up and down the pitch non-stop, and to be back there when he was needed most to get in that hand there and just save what was going to be a certain goal for Meath. Yeah, fantastic. But as I say, just an example, Meath haven't thrown in the towel. They're working hard, forced a turnover, got a chance maybe of scoring a goal, which would brought a certain little bit of respectability to their performance here in the second half, and particularly to the scoreboard. But unfortunately for them, not converted.
And full credit as well to David O'Hanlon, the Fianna man between the posts. He made a great save, a couple of them actually up in Derry, but he did get that touch initially.
Marty, he's good. You mentioned it earlier on. Yeah, that's a good score. Well done.
Flynn gets his second point of the game. But yeah, I've seen David O'Hanlon twice now in Derry and here, and he really does spread himself wide. I think he's playing well, and certainly
couldn't be faulted.
Has an opportunity.
He has, couldn't be faulted for the goal. I mean, with a rather fortuitous effort. I think the Meath man was going for a point, and it just fell over his head and into the back of the net, nesting in the back of the net. But he's impressed. His kick-outs have been very, very effective. There's another example of it again, right on the money. And he's been very good. A top-class performer.
Ryan Pascal has just been introduced. Here's Brian Fenton.
I have to say, and
ball comes down towards a substitute there. That happens to be Cullen Pascal. Good work by Cillian O'Sullivan. Torg Harnan. Aaron Lynch. Still Aaron Lynch. Forced back into his own half of the field to deliver the pass to Harry O'Higgins. Under pressure, has to release the ball quickly, and Dublin win it back. Great pressure by Dublin. Brian Fenton. Unmarked is Lee Gannon, who will take the score from here. Gets inside the cover. Still Lee. Hit it with the side foot. Easy ball for Harry Hogan. Cillian O'Sullivan. Torg Harnan. Delivering it out towards Matthew Costello on the wing. John Small staying with him. Great run by Costello. John Small still with him. Lays it back. Here comes Jones. Hops it. They're trying to create a goal opportunity here. Here comes his midfield partner, Jack Flynn, and that's over the bar. 3 points Jack Flynn has scored. Ratho's clubman. 2 in a row from the big number 9.
Yeah, the two boys middle of the field for Meath have been quite impressive. They've worked extremely hard, and they deserve that score. And the pair of them into a quick interchange of hand passes there, and good score.
Brian Pascal. Pascal brothers played very well for Ballyboden St Enda's in the Dublin Club Championship. And Sean Bugler puts his name on the score sheet as Dublin introduced Cian Murphy from the Thomas Davis Club. Great club. Out Tallaway. As Dublin stretched their lead. Well, we're into the final stretch, John Maughan. So who's your man of the match?
Well, the server in that Dublin, in that performance, Conor Callahan was superb. I think it was a 4
points.
4 points, from play, superb. But he's lots of gongs. But the man that really impressed for me was Cillian O'Gara. I thought he was superb before he was taken off.
Cillian O'Gara the Allianz man of the match, as Aaron Lynch has also impressed since being introduced. As again, Aaron Lynch, nice turn, won the ball 50-50, great score.
Yeah, he's elusive and quick, and I have to say I was really impressed with him, and his game, there's no question about his confidence. He's been very effective in that second half, Marty.
There's Killian O'Gara, man of the match with a goal and 3 points. Well done, Killian. He impressed us all the way through, and that's going to be a 45. The crowd just beginning to leave early now. They've seen enough in this particular match, but I do believe that there is potential in this Meath side, plenty to build on, but lots to do.
Yeah.
But certainly some of the ingredients that you need is there.
I agree with you. You wouldn't expect them to roll over here in Páirc Tailteann at home, particularly when you're playing against a Dublin team. But they've been game and kept it plugging away right to the end. I think that's Harry Hogan's second missed 45. Maybe they got to tidy up on that. I believe they had a couple of chances to win the game against Limerick 2 weeks ago and go down the home stretch, missed a couple of 45s as well. So a little bit of tidying up to do for sure, and they can be 6 or 7 points a better team.
4 minutes of additional time going to be added on, by the way, as Meath go in pursuit of more scores. This is a good effort. The umpires, I think, are happy enough to register that as a score. Full credit to Matthew Costello, who has now scored a goal and 2 points in this match.
And has worked extremely hard, Marty. He's a good footballer. I think that's recognised by many here around Meath, and you mentioned him earlier on. He's worked exceptionally hard all day, and you can see there's lots of talent and ability there.
And I know I mentioned it somewhere in the commentary earlier that Shane Walsh is a really good footballer, as is indeed a Shane McEntee, and they're missing one or two others. But those two I've seen in action, and I have to say I would be big supporters of their football ability. Cormac Costello. 119, 111. Sean Bugler will be pleased with his contribution to this victory here in Páirc Tailteann. Brian Fenton has scored 3 points. Somehow managed to get it back for us, John Small. Aaron Lynch putting in the hard work, which not alone is he a scoring forward, but it's always nice to see when they're willing to backtrack and put in the hard graft, the unspectacular work. Brian Howard showing a little bit too much of it, but he gets by Harry O'Higgins. Still Brian Howard, no free given. 50-50 ball, one back. Meath looking for the goal, give it a little bit more respectability. Great backtracking by Dublin immediately. They realised that they were exposed. Look at that for pressure. Ronan Jones had to really work hard to get the free. Lays it off quickly, fires Michael Flood. Here comes the long ball. It's more of an old-fashioned Gary Owen dropping down. Nowhere in particular. Easily cut out. And Dublin regained the possession. Kieran Kilkenny. Darren Newcomb. As Dublin go into the attack with options available to Pascal. This is a great run, scintillating run. Can he finish? Oh, fantastic! Unbelievable. Colin Pascal ran and ran. I thought any moment he would be stopped, but he wasn't. It was Pascal, look at that for a lovely little jink, passing it into the centre, hand passed it into the net, and the referee has gone in to check with his umpires about a square ball.
I'm not quite sure if it was, but I think it's a certain goal for Cormac. Yeah, I think he's taken a note of that. That definitely is a goal. But we talked about the up and under from the Meath man a few seconds ago into the stand. It was whether a bomb, I don't know what but I mean certainly the counter attack and the pace. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Was that recorded as a goal, Marty? I'm not quite sure.
It's given on the scoreboard. I think it has. It puts a greater look on the scoreboard from a Dublin perspective. Jesse Farrell and Colm O'Rourke can exchange handshakes. Colm can smile knowing that his job is only starting, but he'll take it on, the challenge, with great passion. And Meath